Hi, broad children here. We give God praise for His goodness, kindness, and mercies. Good to have you on Word for the Week. Almost everything in life has a name. Most of the time, names are given based on prevailing circumstances, sometimes by general knowledge or history. In some situations, names are given after the individuals who played specific roles or made certain contributions or discoveries. More often than not, you can trace the history of a name and the background story to the name. In Luke 1, before the birth of John the Baptist, an angel appeared to his dad and told him what his name would be. The Bible says in Luke 1:13, "But the angel said to him, 'Do not be afraid, Zacharias, for your prayer is heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name John.' Subsequently, John was born. John would have been called after his dad Zachariah, but his mom said no. He shall be called John." The comment that followed is quite instructive. The Bible says in Luke 1:61, "But they said to her, 'There is no one among your relatives who is called by this name.'" Men would have given John a different name based on the history of names in their family. Child of God, we don't name things by experience or history. We name things by revelation. In Genesis 28:10-22, Jacob was on his way to his uncle's house, Laban, and he came to a place called Luz, where he had an encounter. He saw a ladder that stretched from earth to heaven, and the Lord stood above the ladder and spoke to him. Because of the relation he had at the place, he named the place Bethel, meaning the house of God. The Bible says in Genesis 28:16-19, "Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, 'Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it.' And he was afraid and said, 'How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven.' Then Jacob arose early in the morning and took the stone that he had put at his head, set it up as a pillar, and poured oil on top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of the city had been Luz previously." Jacob could have named the place based on his physical experience. He didn't have a bed to sleep on. A stone was his pillow, but he gave the place a name based on his revelation. In the course of the ministry of Jesus, he asked his disciples, "Who do men say that I am?" All kinds of answers were put forward. In Matthew 16:14, the Bible says, "So they said, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." These responses were driven by men's observation, though the opinion wasn't completely out of line from man's perspective, because the things that Jesus did were in line with the lives of these men mentioned, but they were wrong. In verse 16 of Matthew 16, the Bible says, "Simon Peter answered and said, 'You are the Christ, the Son of the living God.'" Peter provided a name based on revelation. You may call your job useless based on your physical experience, but unknown to you, the useless job is preparing you for something greater. That child that you have proclaimed stubborn and heading nowhere may turn out to be the light of the family tomorrow. Child of God, we don't name things or situations by experience. We name them by revelation. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and bye for now. Shalom.